Oh, afternoon, guys. KB5 MIQ Big Boy. Been a cold, cold few days on us here in Northeast Texas. Still got ice on the ground. We got up above 4, almost 50 today, so we're getting a lot of melting in. We ain't prepared for this stuff around here. It's been a wild weekend. A lot of people been out of power. KI5TKY was out a couple of days. K1ENT was out off and on a couple of days. Luckily, we kept power. Of course, I've had cows to take care of during all this. Had a brand new baby born early Sunday morning. That cow licked him off good, checked him out. Then he fell in the creek, got hung up, had to fish him out of the creek. But he's still kicking. He's all right. So let's talk a little bit about some weather preparations. I still adhere to my buddy Jeff's advice when I got into this hobby. He said, big boy, don't put up more antennas than you can afford to have blowed down. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. And it's already happened to me a couple times in my 30-something years in this hobby. So, tower, fixed Yankees, rotors, stuff like that. My suggestion is point them in the direction you want them, or point them into the wind if you're looking at high wind. But they're going to freeze, and you're not going to be able to move them for a few days. That's just part of it. Hopefully you don't get a big enough ice load to damage the antenna. My 10-meter Yagi drooped a little on the sides, but it bounced back once it melted off, and I was able to rotate it after a couple of days. Wire antennas. Now here's something that I'm glad I did. And I think Jeff was the one who started me on this several years ago. Whenever I put up a wire dipole, if it's an inverted V, I'll tie them ends off on something I could probably get to on a ladder. But on the center point, I always have a pulley up there that I let it down and raise it up with. Now this Buckmaster, when I put it up, like I said in the earlier videos, you don't put it within 10 foot of a tower, anything metal pole or anything. And Buckmaster recommends it be in a flat top or T configuration or very, very shallow inverted V. Well, I got the 8-band that I had to put up partially out in the pasture. The long 180-foot leg went out in the pasture. And I put it up, like I said earlier, with 4x5 treated 16 foot. Then I scabbed a 16 foot, about 12 foot of that up in the air over it to hang it up with. But I put both ends and the center with pulleys to where I could let it down and pull it back up. Well, to come in handy this weekend, I'm coming back from Magnolia, Arkansas Friday, and I knew this storm was coming. I got thinking, you know what? I got the 3K rated version. It's already heavy because I had to put a support in the middle of the long leg. I said, if that gets ice on it and breaks any of them 2x6s or 2x4s, I'm going to be screwed on putting that thing back up. Plus, if that long leg falls in the pasture, I'm going to get a cow tangle up in it. So I come in Friday evening and dropped it. Dropped both the ends, rolled them up. I left the center hanging because it's in the backyard, but there's no weight on it. Just let it hang and pull the ends in the yard, and I'm glad I did. I know Kent had his 160-meter loop damaged with ice, and I'm glad I dropped that one down. So I can put it back up real easy now when I decide to put it back up. Just a thought, plan your antennas out to where, you know, if you got ahead of time for something you could do to prepare for a winter storm ahead of time, do it. Plan them out when you put them up. Hey, I might have to take this thing down. What can I do? Just be ahead of the game, but sooner or later you're going to have a storm hit that's going to take everything out. You're probably not going to have to be able to do anything about it. Just my thoughts on the subject. Jeff brought up another good subject this week that we'll talk about. He had seen this guy ask this question, that he had a GMRS license and a ham license, and he wanted to Mars mod his dual band talkie so he could use it on GMRS, which is illegal. You're not supposed to modify ham radios to operate on any other type of operation like GMRS. And of course, he got hammered on Facebook. That's illegal. You know you can't do that. That's illegal. That's illegal. All right. Here's my thoughts on that. Yes, it is illegal. But I bet you money, these same guys that are hammering him for even bringing that up are part of the do as I say, not as I do crowd. Because I can remember going to Hamcom in the late 90s, the early 2000s. There was a guy out there called Mr. Mod, and he would mod any talkie you brought to him that could be modded in the Mars Cap mod for a fee. And I've seen people lined up getting their talkies modded. So, when I got my Mars license, I had to send a copy of it to Yaesu to get the mod for my 897. Never did follow through with it because the mod wasn't real clear, and I'm glad I didn't. So, Jeff's suggestion on that, if you've got GMRS and a ham license, just get a separate GMRS talkie to go with it. They're very inexpensive. Bofang makes them. They offer them. Jeff uses them. They work good. I've seen them. They work great. That way you don't have no problem getting anything interfering with each other. You're not breaking any laws. You've got a GMRS license. You've got a ham license. You've got a GMRS radio. You got a ham radio. And here's another thing to think about. Older ham rigs like this 940 has been Mars modded. I'm pretty sure it's been opened up. I've never tried to transmit out a band on it, but I'm 99% sure somebody opened it up. But it's not a multifunction screen, computer-based, any kind of computer-based radio. It's all the controls are on the front of it. I know I found this out about my 897. If I had gone through with that Mars mod on it, I would have lost some of the memory function. So these radios, if you Mars mod them, you stand above the void to warranty. And on these newer radios that are SDR or any kind of multifunction screen menus where you've got a microprocessor running different things, when you Mars mod them things, you run a chance of messing something else up. Again, I guarantee you, every one of these hams that were hollered at that guy that was illegal has probably got something in their shack that could fall out of that same category. But the best way to be is try to stay as legal as possible. If you're going to use GMRS, use GMRS radio. Ham radio, same way. So that just keeps everybody happy and keeps your gear running good, and plus it won't void any kind of warranty out on it. Honestly, I've never seen the need for a Mars Cap mod unless you're a Mars operator. And I don't know how much of that's still out there anymore. I will say this. My old Elenco 110, I was a volunteer fireman. I'll tell you I did it right now. When I bought it, one of the other firemen was ham, got the Mars mod. I took it out to his house. He said, let me show you this. We took the top cover off, and there was this green loop of wire just looped up, sticking up out of the chassis, just sticking up in the middle of nowhere. The Mars mod was cut that wire, taped the ends off, then you held a couple of different keys down when you powered it up, and it was Mars modded on the spot. It would go out of band. And I used that on the fire service. I know I wasn't supposed to do it, but I did. I used it to talk to the fire channel with. But even that radio, as easy it was to Mars mod, it made the memory and stuff go screwy with it too. You could use it, but it made some changes in it that I didn't like. Just something to think about. I plan to get my GMRS license here pretty quick. I looked at it last night. I got to figure out a way to navigate through the great FCC website, but I plan on getting mine, and I'll just buy a separate GMRS radio to go with it. So, guys, try to stay legal in this hobby as much as you can. And if you buy a radio used, it's been Mars modded, it's no big deal. You just have enough personal pride in being a ham operator just to use it on the ham bands if you're not a Mars operator. That's all I'm trying to say about it. Most of these radios now are general coverage receivers. So you already got that part of it that come with the radio. It's just like I said about them 10 and 12 meter mobile radios. The reason they're 10 and 12, what's in the middle between 10 and 12? 11 meters. They're super easy to modify to go on CB band. Just something to think about. Guys, I appreciate all your support. My views have gone up, subscribers has gone up, and I really appreciate it. One other thing, I am going to put a link to niftyaccessories.com, which is the vendor for the Nifty books, like this band playing book I showed y'all in my last video. I had a guy ask me about that, and I'm going to put that link there. Now, I know you can buy them from probably any ham retailer, but they may not have all of them. And the Nifty website will even have some of the discontinued ones on there. And I highly recommend you get a band plan there. So, just something to think about, and I appreciate it. Guys, all the usual sponsor links will be in the description of this video. MRG Labs will be the first slide you see. MTC slide will be in there. And usual Hamfest. Nothing changes. I will be at Choctaw at Hugo, Oklahoma, Saturday morning. So if you're there, please holler at me. It's KB5 MIQ Big Boy 73.